Hey everybody, my name is Stephen Caparelli, and I would say my testimony started when I was young. I attended church, I went to CCD, and I learned who Jesus was and what he did for us through my aunt. I would say that I always had faith, but I think that the church that I attended was not very welcoming, and it wasn't until my aunt was diagnosed with cancer that I really started to question my faith. My aunt was the most kindest, sweetest person and Christ-like person that I knew, and I just couldn't understand why something like that would have happened to someone like her. In high school, I met my now wife, who always used to pray that one day I would find my way back to God, and she would periodically ask me if I wanted to go to church, but I would always come up with the excuse not to go. In college, I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life, and I felt like I was falling behind compared to the people around me. And I started to develop some intrusive thoughts and depression. I then turned to heavily drinking and partying to kind of cope with that, and never really knew what I wanted to do in life. It wasn't until I got married when my wife periodically continued to ask me if I wanted to attend church, but I always still came up with excuses to not go. And it wasn't until Christmas of 2022 that I finally decided to say yes. During that service, I was filled with so many years of emotion that I started to break down and cry and felt like this is where I belonged. A few weeks after, I started to study my Bible and pray that one day I would die to my old self and be born again. About 6 months later, I went to a Flyers game with my friends with no intention on slowing down or quitting drinking. And something in me that day decided that this was my last drink, and by the grace of God, I haven't drank since. I continued to read my Bible and pray, and slowly my intrusive thoughts and depression kind of diminished. I decided to be baptized today as a public display and commitment to fully give my life to Jesus and finally give it all to him.